Good morning, friends. Welcome to our weekly read and discuss session. We are reading the book Drawing Solution by Patti Dobrowolski. We are on page 28. Flexibility and adaptability. Children are in a constant state of adaptation and growth, but as you age, you sometimes become fixed in your ways of thinking and tend to get in familiar routines. You can get stiff and inflexible on many levels. To embrace and adapt to change, you have to get back in shape. How can you keep in the best shape for change? By flexing your change muscles through initiating small changes in your life on a regular basis. This can be as simple as doing one thing differently every day to create new pattern in your behavior. Changes, big or small, make you respond differently and force your brain to learn something new. These little changes can be as simple as driving a different route to work or home, having tea instead of a coffee a couple of mornings a week, or moving your favorite chair so that you have a different view out of the window. One of my European colleagues works for a global manufacturing company that requires him and his family to move to a different country every few years. He is the consummate change agent, enthusiastic, outgoing, and creative. I have long admired his ability to remain flexible and engaged while constantly facing new and unfamiliar situations. Although I know he excels at doing this in his work setting, I'm curious about how these changes affect his personal life. I asked him how his wife and son deal with the frequent moves. Explained that because they have a little control over the actual place they are moving to, he involves them in making as many other decisions as possible. For example, before the family moves, the wife visits the new city and chooses their house, neighborhood, and school. His children, who now speak five different languages and claim to be the to only care about the sport team in their new schools, are encouraged to take an active role in deciding what their new life in the new city will look like. It appears to me that he has created flexibility in his family's ability to adapt to frequent change. The experience changes a new exciting new opportunity and are open to new things because they have the power to make decisions about what they feel is best for them. When everyone has a role to play and all ideas are considered, the process of navigating changes becomes something everyone participates in, not just a problem they are forced to accept. On a large scale, I know that companies and organizations also struggle to adapt to change. In many cases, they have invested a lot of money in a particular product or to change. In many, in many cases, they have invested a lot of money in a particular product or strategy, and the risk of trying something new might affect the profits. One company I work with appeared extremely fixed in the way they did things. In annual mapping sessions with the top management team, I noticed that they were very resistant to making changes to the style of map we used to chart their new goal. They would just change the content of the map but not the image. When they got ready to use the same exact style for the fifth year in a row, I drew a number of other suggested metaphors to help them find a different perspective for the challenges. They hated my new idea and told me that they wanted to revert to the old tried and true map style. During a break in a mapping session, I toured the manufacturing plant where I noticed that some of the ways they did things seemed old and outdated, while in other areas they are shifting and moving with the market. It dawned onto me that this was happening in our mapping session was also occurring throughout the economy. Because they were not willing to consider sweeping changes to their normal way of doing things, they were stuck. The parts of the company that were highly structured and somewhat outdated were holding back the parts of the company that were trying to innovate new methods. The tension between the two conflicting ways of doing business appeared to be the core of what needed addressing. Back in the session after the tour, I shared my perception with them. After a long silence, one of the team leaders proposed a new goal step that would require everyone to consider that they create a totally new way of solving our challenges. Immediately, the team responded with enthusiasm and ideas, and we soon created a radically new map to guide them for the year ahead. I'll stop here. We're going to go next, Wendy.
Let go of the past to step fully into the future. When I was sobbing in the garden about the hacked up lemon tree, I finally realized that I was letting go of thinking of myself as an actor, even though at that moment I couldn't imagine what that meant. Acting was all I ever wanted to do. If I wasn't an actor, what was left? Somehow, maybe due to pure exhaustion from all that crying, I began to relax my grip on the past, and this slight shift created a little tiny opening for the next thing to emerge. That very night, I had coffee with some casual friends. When one of them heard the sad story about my non-existent acting career, he asked if I had ever heard of the drama therapy program at the California Institute of Integral Studies in San Francisco. Had I ever considered going back to school? Since I'd really let go of my acting aspirations once and for all, I was open to his suggestion. So much so that I contacted the school the next morning, only to discover that, coincidentally, there was an informational meeting being held at the school the next night. Now, if someone had pulled me aside and said, "Okay, Patty, first you're going to be an actor, go to Broadway, then have an artistic breakdown, which leads you to taking an axe to people's gardens, until finally one day you will go back to school to become a drama therapist," I would have said, "What?" I had never considered graduate school. I'd earned my bachelor's degree at a very progressive college full of hippies, where we never wrote term papers, sat in circles on the ground for past lectures, and didn't get grades. Higher education was not in my future vision at all. The next night at the informational meeting, one of the students enrolled in the drama therapy program described how she ended up there. She told us she'd been an actor for many years and had loved the career. She thrived with the challenges of new roles and exploring new ideas. She had been very successful. Then she got some bad reviews, and suddenly what other people said about her meant more than what she thought about herself, until the day she just couldn't do it anymore. It was almost as if she was speaking for me, as this was exactly what I was feeling inside. At that moment, I knew that the next step for me involved going back to school to become a drama therapist. Within 48 hours, I had gone from utter despair and helplessness, letting go of my identity, only to have something new show up that was better than anything I could have imagined. All I had to do was step through that new doorway to heal myself. Exercise, examining what's not being said. Where do you begin to change self-defeating behaviors? How can you release old ways of doing things? First, examine the ways you are currently doing things and see if there is anything unspoken that's keeping you from changing. As a change agent, I work with a simple technique, which looks like this. In the top part of the triangle, you put the said, those things you are saying on the surface about what's happening around you. In the bottom of the triangle, you put the unsaid, those subterranean thoughts and feelings that lie behind what's being said. The said might be, "We have a great relationship," while the unsaid might be, "Except he drinks too much." The said might be, "I love my job," and the unsaid is, "I gotta put up with that damn commute every day." The said is, "We value our friends," and the unsaid is, "But we don't really have time to connect with them." There is always more to the picture than meets the eye. In the next chapter, you will be creating a visual representation, and unsaids will help you understand and work with what's really been going on. Servicing and reviewing what you have been avoiding helps everything become more open and pliable. By owning your history, you become empowered to do what is needed in the future. All right, I'll stop here.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yes, Julie, do you want to go and discuss first?
Well, it's funny because as we were reading this I was reading this last section. I said this sounds a lot like something I did for a while. I was involved in a theater group for a while, and it was something I felt at the time. I was having a lot of emotional I guess the best way to say it is emotional problems, because I was still living with my parents, and they being over. I felt, at least, being overprotective, because at this point I was an adult and they were still treating me like I needed to be treated like a child. They were so worried that something bad was going to happen. So I joined this theater group, and it did help. It did help me. It did change me. So, and then I got to the point where Well, it was when I moved here, because I was living in East Brunswick when I was in this. I was living with my parents in Woodbridge, and I was living in East Brunswick when I was in the theater group. And then when I came here to Bridgewater, that came to not involved with them anymore. So.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow.
He actually performed in Washington, D.C. at one point in the Kennedy Center. Didn't play. But
do you have any recording, like a video of that? Love to see it.
I don't know if it's on YouTube. I could look. But it was
Great.
like it was like a murder mystery kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
So I'll look. I was looking for it not too long ago. I'll look. I have to look again.
Great. Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you want me to go next, too?
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that there's two things I like to talk about. One is this idea of doing something small and change every day. I think that's really good. Related to that is, I think if you're in any relationship at all, whether it's work or friends or family or wife, you're going to have to change every day. So I think committing to a relationship, like even here, I think that that's a contract to change, whether we like it or not. And so it's wonderful to do that. And the second thing is, I think what she said about the said and the unsaid, I think that's really useful. You could even say something like, I hate my job. I mean, no one hates their job here, but let's say I hate my friend, or I'm really upset at my friend. What's underneath that may be, I'm stuck with her because I can't make friends, or underneath that maybe she's so bossy. I hate people who are bossy. And then underneath that was, maybe it's underneath that is what I don't like it when she bullies me. Maybe what's really underneath that is, I wish I could, I wish I have the power or skills to be not bullied. Maybe I wish I could speak my voice. Maybe I wish I could stand up to her. Maybe I wish I could help others who are being bullied by her too. So it doesn't always have to start with the positive. Sometimes you can start with the negative, and then it could be revealing. So it's just having this said and unsaid triangle. I think it's really cool. And then also, if you notice, if you make a triangle, the unsaid part is bigger in terms of mass or area than the said part, which means we actually have more unconscious thoughts and feelings about that. So I'm going to try that this week. I'll share that with you on the email.
So for me, actually, I like the way of doing something new and trying something new. So actually, I do it, and many times I do it. For example, as she said, right, if we are going to some destination, I know that, for example, let's say going for a Costco shopping, and then I know, like, we usually take one specific road. So sometimes I do take a diversion and go other way around. So I do take that small changes, and I definitely like to try new things. For example, in terms of food and all.
Right.
Although I like one specific stuff, but I'll still go and order something else and just then have like comparison. Oh, okay, that was better. But I keep on trying. I just specifically in case of food. So that's the other thing. In like some time back, I was, I tried like so I'm a right-handed person, so I have to sometimes try to use my left hand, for example, for brushing my teeth. So
Mm.
I keep on juggling. Because long time back I heard that, uh, your left brain and right brain, and if you are right-handed, your left brain is active, like you are more analytical, versus if you are left-handed, you're more creative. So I had read that, and I was trying to experiment at even that time also, like trying to do uh, really the opposite things. Like what if I even started to writing left uh, with my left hand, and could not succeed well, but I can still write with my left hand a little bit.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So like little bit of so I do try something, and I felt I somehow I have that idea that if it's really for example, as small as brushing your teeth with the left hand, you are you are actually learning that process, just like driving a bike or bicycle. What is the first step of let's say you are learning to drive a bicycle, and you consciously pedal, you're for example driving a car for the first time. You will watch out in all the mirrors, you will see, I mean, you will consciously pay attention to all those things, versus if like, I know 90% of our driving is subconscious mind. We're talking, we are listening, and thing. But when you do something different, you are actually going back to that mode of, okay, I haven't done that, and you'll consciously do it. For example, I feel like while I'm brushing my teeth, I make sure that, okay, I'm cleaning all the way up, left, right. So those kind of things. I think that helps. I mean, I'm not able to measure how, but uh, I think it's just like we have read, like brain is kind of muscle, and we need to exercise it. And by doing this, we give a chance to our brain to rewire some stuff rather than subconsciously doing it. So that's a important part. So I also encourage doing like something different. I like that thing. It's resonated with me. Regarding the what you call let go of the past to step fully into the future. In this one, it's easier said than done. Actually, kind of what I've noticed. We always have prejudice or something that in our mind that really hold back. I am pretty sure change is one of the dreaded thing for everyone. It's like our nature by default is if we are complacent, like we become complacent, and then we love to stay in our comfort zone. We never try to move. One of the thing I tried was public speaking, and so on that front, it still puts me a little bit uh, on the back foot, but maybe changing jobs as well, because I I left my first job after working 10 years in that company. So yeah, so I'm also that kind of person who kind of shies away from the change part of it. But recently, I I have been liking this philosophy of change is must. I mean, you should change it for sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but uh, you have to take it. For example, uh, we have seen like a lot of uh, successful people. They will their graph of success is not like a linear graph. It's
Right.
always there is a dip there, and there is a kind of trench, and then they go back one level up when they bounce back, and that's how they keep on going up and down. And I think that up and down part is like that the pitch is called like uh, you can call it like a pitch of success, where they will go and do some kind of move your skills, trying to learn. It's just basically some kind of change, and then they learn something from that change and do better what they were doing, or do totally different than what they were doing. I think that change is required. Otherwise, our success is like not linear, but it becomes a really stable, constant line. We don't learn much. We love our comfort zone. We get used to it, and then complacency sets in. So yeah, so that's my few thoughts.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. So I think we'll move to our next session then. Our commitment for this week. I've been talking. I'll continue. For me, this week, um, I hope this goes a little bit relaxing week. But mostly, there are a bunch of tasks on the work side that I have to complete. On on the meditation front, on the exercise front, I'll definitely go to gym. I have been postponing that for a while. Uh, then I'm looking for, there is this summer classes for kids. Uh, so I'm doing some kind of, on and off research, because I have noticed that, when we're close to summer, a lot of camps and other things, just they get filled up. I mean, the interesting one gets filled up, and then we have to choose from whatever that is open. So this time, uh, I've been proactively looking at, okay, I need to send her to, so one is like a drama, one is like for horse riding, one is for skating, some kind of different than his whatever routine is, like summer camp. I want him to learn some games. I'm already trying to teach him chess, but I was for outdoor point of view, like tennis or and soccer. So just doing some kind of groundwork for that cat. That's that for me. Do you want to go next, Julie?
Okay. I am going to do the what is not said exercise. And then I'm going to do something with my left hand on the left side. So I'm either going to like brush my teeth, like you said, or I'm going to do my Tai Chi starting on the other side. I'm not sure. And I will continue to work on my book, because this week I didn't work on my book at all. Okay.
When did you want to go?
Okay, for me, I came up with an idea for that said unsaid exercise, so that's one thing I'm going to do. And then it's just this week is the exterminator, so I have to get ready for that. And that's definite. And then it's just regular yoga and exercise and reading and studying and researching. That's it. And my egg comes back this week. So,
yay!
well, that's what I came up with, because there's things about her that drive me crazy, little crazy. So that's what I'm using for the said unsaid exercise.
Right.
All right, that's it.
Okay, nice. Cool. Then I think we are just about the time.
Yep.
Thank you. Have a
Thanks
great
a lot.
week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good
Bye
week.
bye, everyone. Have a good week.
Yep, you too.
Bye bye.